Yeah, I just wanted to record this video basically after this week, after the death of George Floyd. I don't fully know what to say. I just want to talk about it, even if nobody watches or listens to this, because it just, I think more people need to just talk about it, at least talk about it, and make sense of it. And I don't know, like it's really messed up. You should never have your neck on, your knee on a guy's neck. And in any scenario, I can't imagine that. Why is it ever okay? You know, and so this is a police officer. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be protecting people. The guy wasn't a threat, and he was already subdued. You know, so it's just completely disgusting and horrible. It was an extended act. It didn't happen in a second or in a moment of, you know, the guy loses his temper or he snaps or whatever. It happened. The guy's got a rap sheet, you know, like he's got numerous, misconducts. There are other police officers there that could have stopped him. Citizens are yelling out that you're gonna kill him, and the guy's pleading and begging for his life basically, and that doesn't, the guy doesn't let up on his neck. Why not? Like I don't even understand it. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously it's another black guy. He's unarmed. It's happened so many times. It's 2020 now. Why does it have to keep happening? You know, um, I don't know what the deal is. Obviously, there's a lot of racist people in the country, um, and there has been, and there's a history of that. But it still is unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like, it can't. It's happening, but it can't continue to happen. We have to stop it some way. I mean, like at this point, I think it's important, as a white person, to let all the, just don't do it in the, try to be as respectful as possible. But like, we gotta we gotta really look into the history of other races in this country, not just our own race, and let people know that you care and show that you care. In any way we can think of, um, and then think of how can help in different situations. This situation involves, police, you know, using force way beyond what is necessary. Was it even necessary to use force at all in that situation? Is a question that should be asked. You know, the guy, what was he using? A counterfeit $20 bill allegedly or something like that. So how much of a threat was he? And now he's dead. You know, and this is one example, but he's a person who lost his life. People cared about, even if nobody cared about him. He was a person that lost his life. You know, and it's just like, why? So it's sad no matter what, but it's like, why does it have to keep happening to the same race of people in this country that has just been, you know, um, mistreated? You know what I'm saying? That's not even a good word for it, because it's just been like a long history of messed up practices, slavery and Jim Crow and redlining and, all kinds of deceptive practices all over the years. You're going to build highways to cut people off from work opportunities and things like that. So on and on to police brutality. And then you have, social movements in the 60s that get shut down by COINTELPRO. And you've got a lot of these things, just lined up specifically to hold black people down in the country and stuff. And then if you don't teach that history, then that perpetuates racism in white people, because they don't know it. And they think that these things don't exist. They don't even know that these things exist. And then the police brutality continues. And then, I have to believe it was out there before the body cams. And now the body cams are out there. And you would think that that would stop them from doing these things, because it's, things are being filmed. And even if they don't have body cams, they know everybody else has cameras around and they're being filmed. But somehow even that isn't enough to stop people from doing these sorts of things. Maybe it stops some people, I don't know, but it doesn't do a good enough job. So there has to be more accountability, like more, something has to stop before these people even get in these situations. Something. I don't know what. You know, like police has to hold each other accountable. There was several of them there. So why are they being complicit? Like, why is not one of them saying, hey, get off of his neck or something like that, you know? And then, you know, if a random citizen goes up and tries to push one of these cops off or something, they're going to get shot and the whole thing's going to explode and then it's going to be the citizen's fault, you know? But is it really, though? I mean, it's got to stop. I don't know how to stop it. I mean, I can think of ways to improve other areas that would be very, very difficult, but this is one that it's just like, it, it just seems like it could happen anywhere at any time. Not anywhere at any time, but like, okay, yeah, things are okay in one city, but then it's just going to happen in another city, and but then that city's fine for like a couple of weeks, and it's just going to happen in another city. And I mean, just because there's high-profile incidents that we learn about where people die, it doesn't mean that there aren't many less incidents that maybe people aren't dying, but they're being mistreated all over the place. So how do we improve it? You know, I don't know. I wish I knew. But anyway, I mean, people care. You know what I mean? I know, even though black people are being mistreated and stuff like that, I have a long history of that. Black people still care about white people, you know, or have, you know what I mean? In general, and just specifically, like have friendships and family and stuff. And then I know white people, even though a lot of this information doesn't really get to people directly, white people directly sometimes, or it's easy to maybe just kind of not think about it or ignore it. But there's still like a lot of white people that care, you know what I mean? Or just feel attached and feel connected, even though we're not of the same race, you know? Like it's just people. So I wish we could just, you know, not have each other mistreated, and especially if we're going to be mistreated, let's all be mistreated equally, and then we can just figure out what to do together, you know? I don't know. It's just really sad. But, you know, hopefully some improvements can be made. Something's got to change. It really shouldn't even happen at all. We shouldn't be thinking like, what can we do? It shouldn't happen at all. All right. I guess I'll end it because I'm just repeating myself now. Watch the news, keep reading history, talking to people, being patient, considering their viewpoints, and then just remember we're all people, you know, and try to love each other. Even if we can't just show it in the most like outgoing, extroverted way, just be considerate, you know. I'll try. I'll try to do my part and keep thinking of what more I can do. And I don't know. I hope there's more positive influences out there that can help build things up and improve people's lives and stuff like that. And, you know, other people do their part and keep other people accountable. Maybe things will get better.